What's up, everybody? Welcome to another Wednesday edition of All Day Insider. Going to talk about some ball, talk about some moments, talk about all the fun stuff. And to join me, we got Phoenix, Blaze, and Sting. What's up, boys?
Yo,
How
yo,
we
yo.
doing?
Happy
So,
hump day.
yeah, we're in here. Bummer of some games, man. There is some bummer of. I was wrong. I'm gonna go ahead and admit it right off the bat. Right off the bat, Dak Prescott sucks. It
Yeah,
was
he's
just
fucking pretty horrible.
What did I
such
tell
a
you? Two
bummer.
interceptions.
Yeah. No, Phoenix was dead on.
He
about-
was so right.
yeah,
The problem
Yeah, he
was
was dead on.
my thing of why the Cowboys were going to win by such a large margin still didn't go away. The 49ers didn't play well. It just nothing happened. Everything happened on that end like I thought it would. The Cowboys just played worse. Which that was an awful football game in my eyes. It was terrible.
I
It
just,
was hard to watch.
I
Well,
mean, you
but
kind
Purdy
of saw how inexperienced Brock Purdy was. I think against the Eagles, it's just gonna. I don't know. I don't even know if I can.
Yeah, I want to say the
it.
Eagles are going to smash him now,
That-
but can I? Like,
Yeah, like the Eagle. I
I'll
want to
take
say
you on
it.
that
I
one.
want to say it, but like after what happened with the Cowboys, I mean, Micah Parsons touched him twice, maybe. But
Micah Parsons looked tired.
Micah Parsons looked like he was gonna die. Yeah, that was
He
weird.
honestly looked exhausted.
Yeah, what's up with that?
I don't know. I will say Jalen Hurts doesn't just turn into a terrible player like Dak does randomly.
No,
That
he
doesn't
doesn't.
seem to happen. So maybe they'll have a better time. I don't know.
I mean, I just don't see. So let's just say that the Eagles can keep the 49ers to that like score, right? I don't see Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown and Skinny Pete like not putting up those points. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if
Like,
if they hold them to 19, they win by
Like,
2 touchdowns.
It was on Dak. It was on Dak and CeeDee Lamb to try and put up points, and they just couldn't do it.
And
Yeah,
I just like
Elliott is old.
yeah,
Yeah,
like you
he's been
got
old for 2 years.
you got Goddard, AJ Brown, Skinny Pete, their whole running
Sanders,
back core.
Gainwell.
Yeah, their whole running
Yeah.
back core. Yeah, I just don't see it going that well for them. But last time I said that, I was totally wrong. So I'm still going Eagles for sure. I would like if I in my picks or whatever, I would definitely choose the Eagles. But I don't know that I'm as confident about
not
it as
as
last
confident,
week.
no.
You know what I'm saying?
No. We'll get to picks for sure here in a little bit. But yeah, I'm not feeling the same way. How about that Buffalo game? Burrow just absolutely worked.
Just so expected.
Worked
Just so expected.
Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That one I knew. I
Yeah.
had.
Yeah, I was
had
fine.
Cincy.
I mean, I went with Buffalo there, but I just like Josh Allen. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was more of like I hope Buffalo can pull it off kind of thing, but yeah.
For
I
me,
think if they had a bit healthier secondary, it could have been a different game, maybe. But when you're
No,
going,
I don't
up
think
against
they
anybody-
that
couldn't put
wide
up any
receiver-
points.
Right, but your play style is a little bit different when you're not down 27-10. And
Yeah. Okay. Sure. I'll give you that.
I also think that Cincinnati just had a chip on their shoulder with that whole entire Atlanta game, and everything, and them selling tickets, and they said it.
Well, I mean, that's just your typical NFL media, right? I mean, now they're saying that the Chiefs have a chip on their shoulder, and it's like I don't think that the Chiefs know how to play with a chip on their shoulder.
I mean, it seems like the Chiefs are always playing with a chip
they're
on their
going to
shoulder, to be honest.
playing with a chip in Mahomes' ankle.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's going to be an easy Cincy Eagles Super Bowl pick for sure. More so than last weekend. This weekend, it's like, oh my god, if Cincy doesn't pull it out against a broken Mahomes, I'd be surprised. But at the same time,
NFL's rigged. It's going to be in Mahomes' favor.
I was listening to some like other NFL media stuff, and they were actually making fun of what's his name for like touting Patrick Mahomes all weekend during that game.
Collinsworth.
Collinsworth.
Yeah, because
It's a miracle what he did. It's a miracle he came back out and played. It's a miracle.
He can throw from one foot than the other foot.
Yeah.
Just the whole
I don't know.
mess.
I think it's as easy as Cincinnati sends a defensive lineman in low on Mahomes and you win your game. You win the game.
Yeah.
They'll
yeah.
never let that happen.
The refs did
Uh,
not pay for Mahomes to win. Come on.
So, well, like here's the thing too, and
Come on.
they have been discussing it all week. Obviously, I mean it's not as like televised or whatever talked about as Super Bowl week, but Division Week is still being talked about like crazy. And they're like, well, what happens if Mahomes gets hit like one awkward time
Mm-hmm.
and he can't go? Like, are you looking at a Chad Henne led?
Dude, Chad Henne's the GOAT. He comes in every single time.
Well, who was he
slinging it.
on for the longest time? He was on Miami. Wasn't he on Miami for the longest
Yeah.
time?
Yep.
He led the longest drive in Chiefs playoff history.
Yeah.
He's in the
yeah.
record books for that one drive.
I mean, that's pretty crazy, but I know, Freddie. Freddie, I'm with you too. I mean, the refs, the announcers, everybody is just on Mahomes'
No,
job.
but I'm just
and,
saying, if you're
like,
Cincinnati,
I would.
all you do,
I would
all you
say
do is
that.
get
Refs
Mahomes on the move.
definitely
You get
pay.
Mahomes on the move, and if he's moving around, there's no way you can't win that game.
No,
I mean,
I don't think so.
logically, you flush him out of the pocket. You get pressure. You get pressure on him. You hit him. I don't understand how they can't.
Let's be real here, though. He's going to come out with a bunch of shots pumped into his ankle, right? He's going to come out and he's going to be sore before the game. He's going to be sore after the game, but you're not going to be able to tell that much during the game that he's hurt.
No,
Like,
and they're
he's
also,
going to play. He's going to ball out. He's got that's
well,
not
they're
going to
also
stop.
Teeing it up. They're also teeing it up so that they can just go and like, I don't know, sing his praises. Let's say after the game too. It's going to be like movie worthy. You know what I'm saying? They're like they think it's going to be like, oh well. He played through the injury. Who cares?
He's
I
just going
think
to.
you're
just
going
gonna
to see
play.
him come out and not have that mobility, but he won't be hobbling like he was, and it's gonna impact the game. That Cincy pass rush is it's not someone
Pretty good.
Disrespect. So
And realistically too, how good is how good is the Chiefs defense right now?
Not great.
Yeah. And
Right.
so I have a feeling that Mixon has a big game, just running all over those fools.
I mean,
and Samaje
if Burrow
Perine.
plays 80% of what he played last week, it's game over.
Yeah. The
Right,
only
exactly.
advantage
That's
that
my
the Chiefs
thoughts as
has
well.
is that the only advantage the Chiefs have is that it's at their home stadium.
I don't think people realize how good Burrow is.
Burrow's great.
He gets absolutely annihilated, and still
He gets no respect though, for sure. You know what I mean?
It's crazy.
And I was listening to something today, and it was talking about how if Burrow actually does beat Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs on Sunday, like how do you not make an argument that Burrow is better than Patrick Mahomes?
Mhm.
Because of his receiving core.
Huh?
If Patrick Mahomes had that same receiving core, there's no way he doesn't win the Super Bowl every year.
I bet you.
I mean, come on.
So like he
But
had Tyreek Hill.
Couldn't you say
But
Jamar Chase
if
and
Mahomes
Kelsey
was
are
getting
equal?
hit as much as Burrow, though, he'd be dead.
I would say Jamar Chase and Kelsey are probably, you could swap those out interchangeably, but then
Right.
add Boyd and Higgins
right?
instead of
So basically,
Juju
Burrow.
and
So
MVS?
basically, Patrick Mahomes last year with what's his name?
Tyreek
Tyreek
Tyreek and Kelsey.
You're missing something.
Tyreek
though.
and Kelsey. Who cares?
Does he
Because
get
Boyd
Cincinnati's
is really
line?
a non-factor. Boyd is like Boyd's equivalent to Kadarius Toney.
You're missing the biggest factor, though.
Tony
Does he
in there.
get Cincinnati's line from? Does he get
Cincinnati's line has been
hit
garbage.
12 times a game? If Mahomes gets hit 12 times a game, the guy's dead.
Yeah, and he's a baby too. He
Burrow
cries
can take
and
a hit.
bitches.
Mahomes,
Yeah,
Mahomes, he's hurt again in the playoffs. So big
Yeah, I know.
surprise!
I
Oh
know.
my gosh, Mahomes is hurt in the playoffs.
I honestly
Jeez.
think that it
It's
goes
always his
Cincy's
ankles.
way.
Exactly.
I think it goes
Something
Cincy's
needs-
way,
something
and I
needs to
hope
be said
that
for that.
I don't know. I mean,
Well,
I'm kind of
Mahomes has never beat Burrow.
no. I know. That's what I'm saying. So they're saying that if Burrow wins again, it's like, how do you not say that Burrow's better? I mean, I get it. It's a team sport, but still, at the same time,
It's a QB driven sport.
Yeah, it's a QB driven story. I mean, like, yeah, sure, you're gonna go and have someone else, like, so say Patrick Mahomes throwing to, Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd and having Samaje Perine and what's his homeboy to back him up, right, to run, so that Mahomes doesn't have to run or scramble at all. Which, by the way, he's been doing less of and less of every year because he doesn't do it as much. He makes those crazy plays, but he's not running forward. Does that make sense? So, like, he's always scrambling out of the pocket, and he makes this amazing pass. But he's not running. He's not like the leading rusher like Burrow was or whatever on the team last week. Didn't he have the leading rushing yards on the on the whole team because he did it with his legs? Yeah. So I don't know. I think they're a very different player, but at the same time, I think that I'm so over the Mahomes hype. Like, I think it's just time to move on. But the problem is that he's so young that he has such a long career ahead of him if he decides to go that route.
Yeah, you're looking for Mahomes to have a good team built around him in another 2 or 3 years when that contract that he signed doesn't seem as big as a percentage of the cap hit, and they're actually able to rebuild. Whereas when Burrow signs, his new deal is going to take up a larger portion of the cap hit in relation. So you always got to capitalize. Yeah.
No, that's super true.
So I definitely got to win when
the Bengals are gonna have to cut some of those star players whenever Burrow re-ups, and I think he'll get an awakening with how big of the players around him actually are.
Right, they're gonna lose T. Higgins, guaranteed. He's gonna go somewhere else.
Be a number.
You think so?
Yeah.
Is it this year or next?
Next.
I think it's after next season.
Next season?
Mm-hmm.
Really? That'll be interesting to see. I mean, you'll actually have to just wait and see if Boyd steps up, right? And they can find a true number 3
traded this summer, maybe.
Boyd?
No,
or Higgins.
Higgins. I can see him getting traded so that they can secure a guy with a more manageable cap hit, but still have that strong depth at wide receiver.
Yeah,
actually,
I mean, it is.
I agree with you here, Freddie. MVS is trash. The only reason MVS scores touchdowns or gets open is because literally there's 6 other targets on the field, and people just can't guard that many people. Mm-hmm. So they just have a guy open sometimes. Right.
Well, I mean,
good.
That game drove me crazy, anyways, because it's like, that he's literally zeroed in on Travis Kelce, and they didn't even double team him. They only fucking played him in zone coverage, and then so it's like, what are you guys trying to prove? Like, just double, triple team him if you have to. I don't know. Like, just take Travis Kelce out of the game and see what else Mahomes can do. He had that one touchdown to MVS. It wasn't Tony. Was it MVS?
Mm-hmm, in the back of the end zone.
So he had the one touchdown to MVS. But if you were to take Travis Kelce away from Mahomes, and rely on Pacheco to catch some slants or. I mean,
I looked at that video. They put out a video last year about the same thing. Everyone was saying the same thing. Like, why is Kelce getting so open? And there is film where he does get double and tripled, and
he still gets open.
No, well, I mean, he does find a way to get open, but even with okay receivers like MVS and Smith-Schuster, they're not great, but they can still get open in 1v1s, and the window doesn't have to be big. Mahomes will find, you know what I mean? You can't just sit back and play Kelce because he'll make mediocre receivers better.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about him. It's hard. I mean, he's a hard quarterback to go against, or like you said, it's not a big run, but maybe he'll scramble for 8 and get a first down. Still, it's backbreaking on 3rd down.
Right.
You can't just be like, we'll just triple team one guy and leave all the running lanes open. He throws it to McKinnon a ton. He gets creative. So, or he hits 2 other tight ends that no one's ever heard of.
Yeah.
I mean, he's good.
Yeah.
But
why does he need market receivers on?
He doesn't. But I'm saying, imagine him with them.
I think it'd be worse.
I mean, I don't.
I think honestly, sometimes it causes more problems than it's worth.
I mean, I think that's what they they said when they let go Tyreek is like everyone was like, oh, he's done because he doesn't have Tyreek Hill, and he's like, no, that's not true.
No, but but Tyreek wanted the ball every play, and he was always wide open. I think it caused more problems when he had that because now you got ego versus ego. You get the wrong wide receiver in there, and it's ego versus ego. I mean,
look at OBJ on his teams.
I mean, that's
exactly what JK said though. Don't forget late in the season when all the teams focused Kelsey and McKinnon became a monster in the red zone. Like he'll find a way to get somebody in the end zone. It just who you pick. If like obviously last game they just forgot Kelsey could get wide ass open and they didn't guard him.
Well, that's the thing though. I'd rather see him have to try and make plays with some other
defenses have to
scrub receiver
try,
than just being like that game where Kelsey had 4 touchdowns or whatever. It's just like no one wants to see that. That
should
boring.
Never happen. No,
that's so annoying. Like, who were they playing in that game? I don't know. That's what that legendary is, right?
Yeah, I think it was the Chargers.
Kelsey. Yeah, I mean that was just ridiculous. Like no one. That's not entertaining football right there, too. That's just like Mahomes throwing it to one guy over and over again. It's like to see how many touchdowns he can get.
Yeah, that was for some reason when they were all hyped. That I'm pretty sure it was the Chargers because they hyped Derwin James as being able to cover Kelsey one-on-one, and he kept getting smoked every single play.
Yeah, that's right. He did get smoked too.
Or was it? Did they play Los Angeles this year? They did, right?
I think so.
Because I think
I honestly can't remember. I forgot Los Angeles. I forgot
the Rams. The Rams, yeah. Because I think they had. I think they put they put Jalen Ramsey on him too, and he just got smoked over and over.
Yeah.
Oh, it was against the Raiders when he went for 4.
Is it? Nice. Yeah, that was pathetic though. That was kind of like the beginning of everyone knowing that the Raiders were like complete frauds though. So
but I mean, let's talk about these moments a little bit. It seems like everything's trickling up.
It's definitely a great thing to watch.
I've been stuck in a holding pattern for like a week. Like nothing. My account fluctuates like $1,000 up and down every day for like the last week.
I've gone up about $1,000, but that was outside the norm this past little while.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I don't know. Are we seeing kind of like the reverse of what the vast consensus was, where people expected a dip at the end of the season and were waiting to buy, but now because so many people were expecting to be able to do that the reverse is actually happening, and
that's what I said. Remember, I was like, someone's going to catch on before the end of the season and starts going ahead and like jumping on that train. I think that's what we're seeing now. Is people are like, okay, it's bottomed out. Let's start now.
That's definitely what I did. I sold Devonta Smith Lego for a little bit of profit, and then just immediately slap that into a bunch of rares, and it's paid off pretty well.
Also, did anybody listen to me and grab the CD Lamb rare?
I already had 2.
It worked out for you if you did. I think that thing went to like 105 or something.
Definitely, it's probably still around there.
No, I didn't. I went Jamar Chase instead, and that thing doubled in price. I wish I would have bought 3.
Yeah, I stacked a bunch of Chases, still holding 2 of them. 3, but I'm only going to sell 2 of them because I got the locked in for that set.
Yeah,
but there's still a couple at 85. Like, I think based upon what we kind of saw there, we're only going to continue to see increased buying pressure on fewer and fewer moments. So I won't be surprised to see that one hit 150 for the challenges, right?
Let's see. It's at 137 right now.
Yeah, well, I just mean even like all the chases. Like if you look if you look at all the rares, he's got 4. Yeah. So
that's $1 million.
It might as well be
Series 1.
Let's talk about
they're all like a solid price. Like
85, 100, 84, 137. So
right. So there's still an opportunity to get in there on them.
And interestingly enough, you know what set holds value that I really didn't expect to hold value at all is that Super Bowl set. That's his second highest rare, 1,200 mint count. I mean, the locked in only has 1 less. and it's
Mhm.
137. But then you go to the conference championships and it's 1200 again, and then $85. So it's like I'm wondering what the difference is.
Everyone
then-
wants the Super Bowl instead of the conference championship, and I think
Right.
if I remember correctly, it's a nicer moment for the Super
Is it
Bowl.
okay? Yeah, I haven't
been a
really
while
paid
since I
too much
watched them, but-
attention. Yeah. The other one too. I mean, the next one of Jamar Chase that I would buy once the season's over, or I don't know, whenever I see a good deal, that Draw It Up is only 405 mint count. Like, why people are
That's
sleeping
what I
on
grabbed
that?
a bunch of.
Yeah, people are sleeping on that. Like
It was at 60
405.
at one point.
Yeah, 63, 65, 67, 64. And then it like jumps to 70s, you know what I mean? 70s and 80s. So
Mhm.
I think you can still find some decent serial numbers too with that. But I feel like a lot of people do those like crafts or whatever you want to call them, and then they just dump it. So it's really weird to see. So like number 369 is 84, 389 is 84, 229 is 90. I'm gonna guess that's a better serial number. But then it goes from 90 to 115 to 165. So in 4 buys, it's up to 165. I don't want a 300 serial number out of 400, but I would probably buy that 229 for 90. And I don't, so like, just because of the serial though, I would go either another locked in, but not at 137. But that locked in moment's kind of nice, like, because it doesn't have anything to do with like any kind of playoff contention or Super Bowl moment,
Right,
or whatever.
one of the
you know?
hard sets to complete. It's actually like an
Right.
achievable set.
Yeah, exactly. And it makes more sense to complete locked in than it does the Super Bowl set when you have, 2 teams in the Super Bowl set. Like, really, who cares?
Right.
No one
Right.
wants those Rams moments. So, I don't know, just
Yeah.
food for thought.
No, definitely agreed.
Another thing I wanted to talk about.
Let's
What
talk
the-
Rager stocks, Freddie.
Oh yeah, I saw
Alright.
the 3,700 burned. What the hell is that?
I'd be curious to compare Rager to some of the rares that have had excessive burns, like Vander Esch comes to mind, and what percentage they
Yeah.
each have, and who's more.
That's a good idea. It's a good thought.
So my question is, what the hell is Zach Wilson gonna do when Aaron Rodgers quarterbacks the Jets next year?
Learn from the best.
They were saying that there's no way that
Rodgers
Aaron
is single
Rodgers
right now. He
leaves.
should hook him up with his mom.
Jesus.
Was Rodgers married?
I think he had that hippie girlfriend.
Yeah,
Oh,
he did.
did he?
Mhm.
Okay. Leighton Vander Esch, 656 owned, 93 in a pack, and 250 burned.
Right, that's a lot for a rare.
25% burned.
And what's Rager at?
He's a
Less
30,
than that.
37% burned.
37%. Oh, so yeah.
Nice.
But I mean that Leighton Vander Esch moment too is $100. Like I know it's really inflated
It's in a
because it was just
challenge,
yeah. So
It's still burnable. That's why.
is it okay?
Yeah.
Because I would never pay that, and it probably goes back down to like what 30 afterwards.
God, I hope so because I need it for my ball hawks.
Oh, do you?
With it being 25% of them burned though, and it being in the ball hawk set, it might stay up for a little while.
Ball hawks is hot.
Mm,
People love that set.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it has been by far the most profitable set
The most
for me.
useful set, probably.
Without a doubt. It's been amazing. It hits,
Oh.
like, I swear to God, in every single challenge.
Really?
Someone in there does. And,
Someone in
like,
there, yeah.
yeah.
I think that would be if
It's
you
a
were
good
going
mix.
to
It's a good mix of defensive
complete-
players for those interceptions.
right. That's what I was saying. So like if you were going to complete a defensive set, that would be the one. Is what you're saying?
I'd say so. The only exception I'd make to that is in the trenches because they
Right.
haven't gated it yet.
And team moments are in there,
Yeah.
which I
yeah.
like.
Yeah, it's got some sweet team moments for sure.
Is it locked in a decent set?
Yeah.
Locked In's a great set. I'm just thinking of ones that haven't had the
With
gated
defense
craft.
though.
yet.
Without,
Oh.
yeah.
Right. That makes sense. All right, so this is the portion of the show. I know it's a little early. We don't really have. I mean, there's not a ton to talk about, but we'll get to our picks here in a little while for the final two games. But what are we looking at buying, honestly? And I know we're normally pretty general, which is fine, and we say like quarterbacks of this or this. Let's try to pick a specific moment this week that will be relevant to the last two games, if that makes sense. So we're looking at a team or a moment or a moment of a player or a team that's going to be the Final Four, and assuming, I mean, I'm assuming they still do the same style of challenges, which means there's just going to be a very limited pool of people to pick from, especially if they're doing like 100-yard receiving, rushing, that whole thing. So,
Right.
I mean, who are we looking at?
I think Kittle's a nice one.
Mm-hmm.
Grab yourself a Kittle rare. They're still like reasonably priced for a little spec play.
$47.
Yeah, 40 and 49 and 52 for the two rares.
Better than trying to buy that Goddard for what, 130?
Right. Yeah, or even like the Chase for 80. Like,
yeah,
I think Kittle maybe not just as good of a chance as Chase, but
this is where this is like what gets my brain turning though, and I'm just like, how do the Eagles not smash the 49ers? Like, seriously, I don't
Well,
know.
I mean, even more to that though, like if you're going specific for like, so I called out that CD last week. I obviously thought Dallas was going to win, but because they were so far behind, or not behind, but they were having to throw a bunch of times, like San Francisco might be in that same boat. Like you may be looking at Kittle getting more catches because they get smashed.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and check downs coming off the blocks and stuff like that.
Or Debo just goes 200 total yards and trounces the Eagles.
Debo was a decent price too.
Debo goes crazy. San Fran kills Eagles.
Are you serious? That's your prediction?
Mm-hmm. We'll talk about that crazy shit in a minute. But
I always got to do something crazy.
Yeah, I was the crazy one last week, and we're not going to do that anymore. So Debo's at 75 right now.
67 for his cheapest one.
His cheapest one though is pointless. I hate that moment. It's
back up to 74 right now.
It's just like that. It's just like the Chase that we were talking about. They just pumped out a bunch of Debo rares.
Well,
I think they're going to game plan. Debo's going to be touching that ball a lot.
It's not a desirable moment in and of itself to me, but for the playbook purpose, it fits the niche, especially when compared to the Debo debut.
Yeah, for sure. So yours was Kittle, Blaze?
Yeah.
All right, what are you going with, Sting? You got one?
I'm going Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Those two, because they're $2 right now.
He doesn't even play.
I know, but I want to burn him.
Oh, okay. Fair, I guess.
No, so I'm going Kadarius Toney.
I like it.
That's a good one.
Earlier he was at $3, but hold on, I'm trying to find it.
His cop is rare. It's probably like 35.
I have that as well.
Yeah, I think his rare would be the play though. If you're
I mentioned it in the chat earlier because for whatever reason his triple badge got down to $3, and I was like,
it's
"What the hell is going on right now?"
His rare's only 37 though. Jesus.
Yeah.
That's so low.
Then let me see. Hold on, something. I have to show you this. Okay, so Kadarius Toney triple badge. Okay. $4. I almost did this earlier, but I don't want to spend that much on him just in case they lose. 1, 2, 3 at $4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 at $5. 1, 2, 3, 4 at $6. And then it's 7. Well, so that's less than 20 to 7.
I'm taking care of the fours right now.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So like Kadarius Toney, no matter what, it's a triple badge. I get it that he's not on the Giants, but I mean it annoys me as well. But at the same time, especially that tattoo. Oh my God, that's horrible. But
so sad.
and then his rare's at 35. You know, it's not a bad rare. There's only
I mean, if he scores a touchdown or if he gets over 100 yards somehow, I don't know if he can do that. But if he does, he would be at 100
Yeah.
immediately.
Yeah. Like there's 1199 of the Kadarius Toney Series 2 locked in, and 26 of them have been burnt for whatever reason. I don't know why. He must have been really low earlier. But then let's go evaluate this one too. This one's a little bit like less. So 37, 37, 38, 38, 39, 39, 40, 40, 40. So that's pretty well distributed. But you could also just spend a couple extra bucks and get double digit like number 89 or number 93 for $50, which is what I would probably do. But yeah, I don't know. I like Kadarius Toney's triple badge. That's what I'm buying. I have 9 so far.
It's at $5 now. I got the 3-4s. So
yeah. So
well, 89,
89
89 was his number on the Giants.
Yeah, I know. Too bad it's not the Giants jersey in the moment though. The only other one I'm doing is I'm loading up as many as I can Joe Burrow debuts, because I think they're gonna go back to the Super Bowl, and if they go, so I'm weird like that. So I'm picking Eagles over the Niners, but if the Eagles play Cincy, I'm definitely going Cincy over the Eagles.
I think everybody should go buy a Mac Jones debut right now.
That I have.
Yeah, him meeting back up with Bill O'Brien is humongous.
Yeah, it really is.
He will be nuts under him.
I totally agree with that.
I mean, I honestly get them now because they were like $5 and $6. I grabbed a few of those at they got up to like 7.
I saw it spike when the news came out.
Yeah.
It spiked way up for a minute.
And then everyone goes, "Oh, why is it spiking?" And they sell it.
Yep.
So stupid.
No, but that's a definite grab and hold for next year. Is if you can get those at $5 and $6, just go load up on them right now. Grab like 10 of them.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the worst that can happen? It goes down to $4.
I know, right? Yeah, exactly. It goes to $4 or $3.
Who cares, and you know what though? I mean, the players love him, and they're the ones who want him there.
I mean, they're gonna ride or die for Mac, dude. He's the dude.
Right? He is. He's the one. He's the one they want. And you know what? I could see him having a hell of a year next year.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree with that.
I mean, what did he throw for 370 something yards the last game of the season?
Yeah,
he's a good quarterback.
3 interceptions, but still 3 touchdowns.
Yeah. No, I think he's good, and he's with Belichick. So.
Belichick's the one who screwed him over this year, though.
Yeah, I know, but it's still Belichick.
All right, before I'd say my picks, we're going to answer Chris's question. What's worth the number of Chase rares, the number of Evans Legos, or Dalvin Cook not having a comment? I think Chase rares to me is the worst one there.
The number of Evans Legos, I like that. That's pretty on par. Yeah, that's rough.
Chase having a lot of rares is a bummer, but.
All 3 of those really are bummers, except for the fact that I don't give a shit about Dalvin Cook.
I don't either.
Because the Vikings are complete frauds and irrelevant. Like,
yeah.
I think it's got to be the Evans Legos. Chase rares, I can wrap my head around. 80 was new. They were pumping out the playoff packs, kind of learning how to control that supply. So I can forgive that, and it's an amazing player. So can you imagine what the price would be if he only had 2 rares?
Yeah, sure.
Then the Dalvin Cook, he just had a disappointing season, and I'm glad that maybe they showed a little bit of discretion there.
Well, which is even funnier too, because he had a disappointing season, and he has 2 rares, and the Vikings, for all intents and purposes, had a great season for them.
Right.
So you're telling me they couldn't find one common moment for Dalvin Cook? I don't know. I think they literally forgot about him and just were like, "Oh yeah, that's."
Or maybe on the back end, it was just it was really fun watching everyone bounce the price of this rare around. Let's keep that happening. And I mean,
hey, that 5% market fee is a
feel
lot
like you
more
gotta
on
have.
$100.
I think you got to have those moments to keep people interested in that sort of thing too, right?
Like the Dallas Goedert.
Well, how does Cook for Buffalo?
Cough for a while? We'll see some more throughout this season too, as people get stuff right.
Yeah,
Mhm.
for
I
sure.
think just the rare debuts in and of themselves now become some pretty nice bottlenecks as we start to see that continue to be played out in playbook.
All right, so mine. We always talk about how defensive players are not the greatest to buy. I understand, but if you watched last week, Jalen Watson, his price skyrocketed to like $100 because he got a pick. There aren't going to be that many people who get interceptions that have moments, and the double sack is a hard one. All that defense is just going to be on a lot lower amount of people that can get stuff. So my pick would be Darius Slay. He's going to be matched up against the best receiver for any team.
So he's going to get burnt all day by Debo?
Sure, maybe, but it doesn't matter.
I don't know about burnt, but manhandled.
His stats don't matter. If he gets a pick, his price triples right away. So I would definitely look into that. And then also, I'm just going to throw it out there. When Brock Purdy gets beat, I'm gonna laugh at this $199 rare that he has right now. Plummet.
I don't think it drops that far. It doesn't drop past 150. It's a rookie badge, probably starting QB next year. There's no reason to think he won't be.
And that's like still way above like every S1 like star player rookie. That makes no sense.
But all those ones are double the mint.
Yeah.
What did the mint come out on that? 400?
$479, I think, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a product of the mint and it's a product of hype. I mean, some idiot spent
The dude hasn't lost a game.
$3,000. Someone spent $3,000 on the number one.
Well, I'm really jealous I didn't pull that number one.
Yeah, fact.
Like, that's the stupidest purchase I've ever heard in my life. Because
I
like,
probably wouldn't have the balls to list it for more than like $1,750.
like Roy said, when he gets beat, he's gonna get beat bad. If
I don't know.
if someone makes him look silly, people are gonna start just throwing him away.
No one's made him look silly.
Yeah,
though.
people have been saying that for 7 weeks now.
7, nothing more than that, isn't it?
Dude,
Or 7?
No,
do we
he's
need to
7-0.
pull it up on the screen? What was your little like statistic or whatever? Who did they play? The Cowboys. We gave the Cowboys the benefit of the doubt because they beat the shit out of the team that they played the week before.
But you're
like,
focusing
realistically,
on
they
win,
suck.
loss. But like if it
Doesn't matter who
depends
they
on him
play.
having a
Keep on doing
game.
the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over again. Doesn't matter who they play. They're playing professional athletes, and they can't score on San Francisco.
The Eagles might be the team, but
I don't know. I just AJ Brown.
I don't think
Brown's
losing
banged
to
up.
them takes anything away from Purdy. I mean,
AJ Brown's banged up.
It doesn't in the
Miles
sense that
Sanders
he
is a walking
sucks.
injury.
He's like he runs around with his head cut off.
Who?
Purdy. Did you watch the last game?
Yeah, he's not very composed. No,
he's not like good. He's
Wow.
just there in a or Kyle Shanahan office.
Yeah, that's
and
a
it's like he
beautiful
has
thing.
Debo and McCaffrey and Brandon Ayuk all around him.
And he hasn't done anything to lose the game yet.
No,
No,
hasn't.
but that's just luck of the.
Trent
I've only
Trent
started
Dilfer
7
won a
games.
Super Bowl. Trent
7
Dilfer won
games
Super
is a
Bowl.
lot in the NFL.
Trent Dilfer is a Super Bowl champion, and Trent Dilfer sucked.
Nick Foles won a Super Bowl for crying out loud.
really?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, but you say exactly, but that's not a testament to Nick Foles or Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy sucks. So like his moment will not hold value over time.
Sure.
I
maybe
do
10
not
years
think
from
that
now.
he's a starting quarterback next year. I don't.
And
If Trey
I-
Lance comes
I don't-
back, they're going to
there's
say
no
Trey
way-
Lance.
No, there's no way.
No, there's no way.
No
No,
way.
I disagree with that. And I'm not on the Brock Purdy train at all, but I think they have to start him. I almost think they have to.
But they paid Trey Lance though, didn't they? More
Trey
like
Lance has
Trey
never-
Lance. How much? He's on his rookie. He's on.
He's on a
obviously
garbage
barely
rookie
rookie
started
contract.
any football in his entire career. He
Yeah.
only had one full college season in 2019.
Yeah, he's not going to play.
Brock
like-
Purdy, just Joe Flacco. I could see that.
That's
Sure.
That's a decent career.
That is
Yeah.
not only is that a decent career, that's a fantastic comparison, Jenkins.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. Is like he's on
Yeah.
a lot of winning teams because the people around him, but I will give Joe Flacco the same thing I'm giving
or like
Purdy. I'm not
Jay
saying
Cutler.
I'll take Joe Flacco's career in a heartbeat. Just
no,
sign
I'm
me
not
up.
saying Joe Flacco was good. I'm not saying Brock Purdy is good, but Phoenix or Blaze made the best point. He may not be doing spectacular shit, but he's not throwing picks and losing football games.
Right.
That's
Exactly.
he's
Exactly.
being
But,
he's
okay.
he's giving his team a
And-
chance to win.
and
He's not
think
putting up
about how-
40, but who cares?
Think about how often San Francisco let Jimmy Garoppolo pass the ball. Now think about how often they're letting Purdy pass the ball.
Yeah.
One of those guys does it a lot more than the other,
Yeah.
and it's
They're-
not Garoppolo.
And it's not the other one.
Mhm.
So, that in itself shows that Shanahan has some faith in that guy. And
Okay, but what happens when Darius Slay gets an interception? Are they just going to be
he
like,
shakes it.
"Oh
Yeah,
yeah, keep slinging it,
He gets hit and he fumbles it back to the Niners.
But I don't think he's
keep
slinging it.
slinging it, little kid"? He
He's
looks
just
like a
managing-
retard.
He's just managing the game.
Yeah, that's essentially his job,
that's all he
anyways,
needs,
right?
all he needs to do with that defense.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. It's not a testament to him, that's for sure. All I'm saying is in regards to the moment.
Sure it is,
You
because
get,
most-
you get a
most
championship
defenses-
badge slapped on that thing. Oh,
That's true.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry, but if you put any other seventh round rookie in history in that situation outside of like I don't know, like a Tom,
Tom
Brady,
Brady.
type-
Yeah, Tom Brady,
Brady's that
like
person.
the one.
yeah. If you take no one survives that. Look at the rookies that come in this league.
See,
Look at the guys who are
that's-
ninth and 10th year
That's
pro.
where no,
that
that's
come in and can't manage a game. They can't throw a pass. They can't do anything. And you have a rookie who's managing the game and doing enough to make big plays. I mean,
I disagree
he
with
made some
that.
big throws. And I mean, look at him in the first round game. What did he do?
I
at
disagree
that.
with that. I say you take I say if you give Kyle Shanahan's quarterback the same play calls that Purdy's getting, the defense is that good. You have Debo and Christian McCaffrey. I could suit up. It doesn't fucking matter who's back there. It's
100%. I'm with Roy.
it doesn't matter. It literally any quarterback looks good in that spot.
Of backups in the NFL.
Well, that's not true because
Come in,
Garoppolo didn't.
come in and
Yeah,
manage
Garoppolo
the
didn't have
game.
McCaffrey.
Doesn't matter
That's
who
true.
the other players are.
That's
McCaffrey
true.
came over and
McCaffrey came
doesn't matter.
after.
did it. That was it. McCaffrey came over and Brock Purdy was all of a sudden great. And it's
Yeah,
like,
because
no.
they didn't have a run game before that. So
Yeah,
it was
Mitchell.
all on.
For a bit.
That's
No,
why
I-
Debo was
I-
playing running back because they didn't have a run game.
I'm sorry. but if
Anytime
Chad-
Jimmy
if Chad
Garoppolo
Henne
got in
was-
trouble, it
if
was
Chad Henne-
dish
if
it off
Chad
to
Henne-
Debo.
If Chad Henne played the games that Purdy played,
he would have won all of them.
Instead of being 7-0, they'd be like 2-5.
They would not. They would
Yeah, they
be
would.
7 and
No,
0.
would
Yeah, they
not.
would. No, they wouldn't.
wouldn't.
No, they would. They'd be,
Dude,
they'd be-
you guys, one
2-5.
day, it's not. I mean,
Hey.
it could not happen this weekend. It could not
Remember when
happen,
we yelled at the
100%.
Bengals?
No, it could
Delete
not
it.
happen this weekend. But one day, Brock Purdy is going to throw 3 interceptions in a game, and everyone is going to dump his moment for $50. I'm
Yeah,
just.
I'll-
that's all I'm
I'll be
talking about
there.
is the moment.
That'll
Be
happen.
there
That's
with
all
my
I'm talking
wallet
about is
open.
the moment. I don't
That'll
care about
happen.
him as a person.
Well, that'll
I don't
happen.
care about him running an offense. I don't care about any of that. I don't care about them
He's running
winning
for
or
office.
not
What
winning.
office is he running for?
Huh?
He's running for office?
Offense.
Okay.
So let's roll back to this.
I'd vote for him.
7 games. 7 games. He's thrown 13 touchdowns, 4 picks with a quarterback rating of 65.5. He's not phenomenal. I don't know why we're acting
don't
like
think
he's
any-
a fucking
I don't think
god
anyone's
quarterback.
I think his quarterback rating's a lot higher than that. You're looking at his completion percentage.
Quarterback QBR 65.5.
I don't care.
He's not great.
I didn't say he wasn't or was.
No, I'm just
I
saying.
hate him.
Chad Henne could do the same
Quarterback,
thing.
his quarterback rating is 107.3.
Yeah,
See-
his QB rating is
Yeah,
107.3.
come on.
It does say 65.5 right
No,
here. but-
that's just that's a different metric.
It's something else. Either way,
okay, that is better. I'll give you that.
That's
I don't
phenomenal.
care.
I mean, that's not better.
That's a phenomenal rating.
it's leaps and bounds better, but still, I don't want.
Wait, what are these? No, that's
so
a good
after
question.
This
I want to
weekend,
know that.
can
real
we
quick.
can we just talk about this really quick?
His worst rating
After
his
they
worst
get
rating was
beat,
last week, and
after
he-
they get beat this weekend, can we just agree never to talk about Brock Purdy again? Because I hate him. He's
Why?
just so
when he's
bad.
in the Super Bowl, you're going to hear about him for 2 weeks.
He's not going to the Super Bowl. The Eagles are going to beat their ass.
Jeez.
The Eagles are going to beat their ass.
No,
Oh,
The Eagles are
adjusted
going to make
QPR.
them
No,
look
no.
stupid.
So I just want
I
to
don't
know
know.
for my future reference, not about Brock Purdy. Okay, I'm done talking about that guy. But what is passer rating and then adjusted QBR? What does that factor in? Because like I do see it. Like in one game right here, it says his rating is 87.4, but his QBR is 53.1. What is
It's
that?
like-
What's the difference?
It's like wins against replacement in baseball.
Dude,
In English.
in
Anybody?
English, please.
What does that mean? Because like I do see you're not wrong. Like it says 131 rating, 89 QBR. What's the difference?
I'm
Pretty
not
much.
sure what you're looking at, but let's just take for
It has to
the-
do with
starting
their,
in
the
January
accuracy of the
8th,
pass, the
right?
yardage, and their completion.
Like what they should have put up on their attempts or something like that.
Well,
It
it takes
took-
into account
Here,
touchdowns,
Here's the
interceptions, yards.
here's the actual
That's it.
definition. QBR incorporates all of a quarterback's contributions to winning, including how he impacts the game on passes, rushes, turnovers, and penalties.
Oh, okay. So in other words, and I'm not knocking Brock Purdy again, but let's just hear me out. If he throws it to Debo, his yards are going to be high and it's going to be a high passer rating, but his QBR will go down because they're like run after the catch, right? Is that what we're saying here?
Well, no, because it still counts as
Now that
passing
still counts
yards.
as him passing.
No, but his impact on it isn't as high as like Debo's.
It's
No,
more-
it
it's
doesn't-
more-
don't
it's
think of it
more
like
an
that, it's
effi-
just
It's more an
yards.
efficiency rating.
Okay.
Roy,
Okay.
yards, touchdowns, interceptions equal a rating. That's
Those
all
are the
you
only
need to
thing
know.
that matter.
Yeah, that's the only thing that matters. Yards, touchdowns, interceptions.
Well, like this game is confusing.
So, but listen to this. Okay, but listen to this really weird statistic. Okay. His passer rating versus the Cowboys was 87.4. He had 0 interceptions, but he also had 0 touchdowns, and he only threw for 200 yards with a 65% completion rate.
right.
So he looked bad. But then you go to
He didn't do
versus the
anything wrong, though.
Cardinals. Then you go versus the
that's the
Cardinals.
one I'm looking at. Yeah.
141 QBR, 0 interceptions,
No, see,
3
that's-
touchdowns.
That's the difference. It's
3
141.
touchdowns, and
It's a hun-
but it's because of the touchdown points. The way that it's rated, the touchdowns are just rated higher. 131 versus the Seahawks because he had 3 touchdowns.
No.
If you take out a touchdown, it goes down.
It says rating 141, and then beside that it says QBR 51.4. So it's factoring in yards after catch and stuff. I would assume, because it has to factor in something for it to plummet that far.
They're stupid stats, anyways. It doesn't.
Yeah,
matter.
I was gonna say I hate to say
Well,
that
Aaron-
or whatever
Aaron
because I
Rodgers-
don't understand it, so I shouldn't talk on it.
Would you say
but-
it was his was 68 or something?
His QBR for the whole year was 65.
Yeah,
Okay,
his
well,
QBR for
Aaron
65.5.
Aaron Rodgers, the 2021 season led the NFL, and it was 69-1.
Okay, there you go. Fair enough. That's all I was looking for. I just didn't know what the heck that meant. So I think legitimately,
But he's got a 3.3 to 1.
like Mahomes is this year is
Touchdown.
77.6, and he leads the NFL.
Yeah.
So it's not that much higher. Like it's
Yeah, that's a
well,
pretty significant amount. But
12% or 12 points. I guess that is a good
he also
bit.
threw for 5,000 plus yards.
5,250
More touchdowns than everybody
yards.
else.
God. Hey, that's a good topic to bring up. MVP of the year. I think they said the top 3 were Hurts, Justin Jefferson, Mahomes. I don't know how in the world you don't give it to Mahomes there. Unless
It's got to
they-
be Mahomes. Yeah.
I mean, the only thing I could see otherwise would it be Hurts just for bringing that team up as far as they went, not
But
necessarily.
they did it without him also.
The injury, hurt
yeah,
him.
exactly.
The injury and missing those games hurt him though in that aspect.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mahomes is
It's
dominating
gotta be
every
Mahomes.
statistical category. He did throw quite a few picks for him this year, but I mean, I don't think that really matters. Purdy was the number 1 passing rating in the regular season.
Yep, next Joe Montana right there, bam.
Let's see. I didn't know that. Oh my god.
You guys keep knocking Purdy. Purdy's done nothing wrong.
He hasn't. You're right, and I will give you that.
He
He has
hasn't
not
done
done anything wrong, but he isn't the best quarterback. Okay. And I know you guys didn't say he was, so that's fair.
He's
and I
not the
also
best
thought-
quarterback.
That's fair. Okay.
I mean, he could end up being great. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, that's true.
He could end up being a Super Bowl winner and beat Flacco the rest of his
I mean,
career.
worse quarterbacks have won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah.
That's
I just I don't think the Niners can pull it off against the Eagles, but
so
I don't-
hey, talking about that, let's get into it. Phoenix, let's start with your predictions. 2 games. Niners, Eagles, go.
Niners, Eagles. I'm gonna go.
you have to go Niners. You just spent like the whole
Oh,
afternoon
No,
like
I'm
talking
thinking-
about
I'm
Brock
thinking
Purdy.
about the score. I'm thinking about the score.
Okay.
I'm gonna
What
go.
is
just
something
like-
pathetic like last year or
No,
like last week?
I'm gonna go 27-21 Niners.
That's fair.
It's not gonna be a blowout, but not gonna. I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a defensive player that's gonna. And I think Robbie Gold is gonna be the difference maker in that game.
Dude, first, let's interrupt real quick to talk about how every time Mayer ran out for the Cowboys, the announcers were just like, "Here we go," every single time. And I was
the first kick
losing it.
was terrible.
Not only, and they were like, oh, they got blocked. I was like, it was 14 feet to the left, even if it doesn't get blocked. It was, I don't know how he still has a job. There's no way he does going into next year. No way.
No way.
But then his 2 field goals he buried. So just maybe he's just nearsighted. I'm not really sure, but he's not good at 25-yard field goals or whatever it is.
They
Blaze,
just
who
need
you
to move
got?
back.
Yeah.
We doing
Yeah,
am I doing
just-
both games?
No,
I'm
we're going one at a
going.
time.
So for me, that game comes down to the defenses. They're both really potent offense. Which defense do I have more faith in stopping the other offense? It's going to be San Francisco. So I'm rolling that, and I'm going to go 19-14.
San Fran?
San Fran.
I think Blaze's score, and who knows really, but I think Blaze's score is more on par for what the score will be if San Fran wins. I'll put that out there. It'll be very low scoring, like super ugly the whole time, and that's what.
Yeah, grinding it out. Yeah.
What you got, Sting?
Eagles like 36,
Oh Jesus.
Oh,
Niners 24.
Okay. That sounds like me last week with the Cowboys.
Yep. And then it was the exact opposite. So
Yes.
Kyle Shanahan is going to come out and be like, "Hey guys, do you want to score some points this week?" And they'll probably try a little bit more to launch the ball. I mean, even though Purdy's going to like run around with his he looks like special ed, but whatever. I think 30. What did I say?
36-24.
36-24.
Said. Yeah.
I like it. 36-24.
All right. I'm going.
It is.
I'm
a
going
lot of
Eagles.
points, Jason. I like it.
Yeah, I'm going Eagles as well, but I'm going 21-14.
So you're saying it's going to be
Saying it's
21-14?
saying it's going to be a little slower. I feel like the defense is going to give Hurts some trouble in the first half. I feel like the point isn't there. It's not going to be as inflated as a lot of their scores have been because they're not going to let him run. I think they're going to stop that.
Minshew
And-
finishes that game.
No, that's what
I
that.
don't think Hurts is going to make it through the whole game. Bosa's going to bury him.
Are you wishing death on someone?
Yeah, you
No,
can't just.
I just think Bosa's going to bury him, and he's going to go, "Ouchie! I got boo boos. I got to go on sideline."
You might say he's Hurts.
Yes,
That caught me off guard. That's so funny.
he's Hurts.
So, I think Hurts,
I'm not
regardless
saying
if he
he's going to be.
stays
I'm
in the
not
whole
saying he's
game.
going to be driven off in a hearse.
That wasn't as good as the first
No.
one.
No.
No. So I think Jalen. I think Jalen gets limited on how much he can run, and that just makes it a little more grindy for them. But I still think they have the big plays over the top. So, Smith and AJ Brown are just going to get wide open a couple of times, and that's all it'll take.
Skinny Pete.
Yeah,
He's good, dude. He's good. So let's talk about the other one.
that was pretty funny.
Pretty
over
funny.
under is 45.5. Yeah, I think it goes over.
All right, let's go with Bengals, Chiefs. Who you got, Phoenix?
Bengals. And I'm going to go 35-24.
Okay. Okay. I like what
What's
you're
the
putting out
over
here.
under on that, Genesis?
It's got to be 60.
Yeah, I was gonna say it has to be super high, right? That's what I was thinking too. Because I'm thinking like 36, 32. Something
I'm guessing
crazy.
it's mid 50s for that
56.5.
55.5 sort of thing.
Yeah.
I'm going Bengals, and I'm going 32
Ooh.
to 27. I really want to
Okay.
go 29, but 27 just came out.
32
Wow.
27. Wow. 47.5. I would take the over on that all day.
Yeah, I would take the. Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh, no pun intended.
All day. That is a crazy low. Is
Wow.
actually 46.5.
Yeah,
now?
them matching almost a point difference in over under between those two games is absurd.
Is this
It doesn't really
like,
make sense. I think
clean?
that they're basing that completely off of how many points that Philadelphia scored last week. But I mean, it's the Giants. They suck.
No, I mean the 46. No, I think the 46.5 is fine for the other game.
That's
I
what
just
thought.
don't see why 47.5 is even remotely fine for Chiefs Bengals. Like everyone has to be taking the over there.
I think
Yeah.
Cincinnati can reach that over under by themselves.
Yeah, I
mean,
think that.
they-
So
yeah, they
I
could.
don't know. I don't know what the score is. I'm not really good with scores, but I think that game comes down to a field goal.
But the
in,
bookies know
really
their shit, though.
close. Really,
We're talking about
close.
high to like 35-38, or are we talking about like 17-14 field goal?
No, like in the middle of that. I would say 3 touchdowns apiece.
Okay. So you're talking like 27-24, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it comes down to a field goal, I would imagine. And then because they always rave about McPherson,
Money Mac.
So yeah, we'll give him a chance to prove here that he's worth that.
He's
but,
better at field goals than he is extra points.
Yes, he
Yeah.
is.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So it could be even weirder than that. I mean, I could see him missing a PAT and then clinching it with a field goal.
Yeah, 62-yard field goal to win it, but he
But he fucking shanks it. Yeah, I don't know. I have a feeling that one comes. I have a feeling that one comes down more to the wire than this Eagles Chiefs. I think the Eagles are going to pull away.
Yeah.
Even so imagine this scenario where the Eagles get up in the first half by 2 touchdowns. Just maybe Jalen Hurts bombs it out for AJ Brown or Skinny Pete, right? And they get a touchdown really quick, like they did in the Giants game. Then a quarter goes by and nothing happens. And then second quarter comes and Jalen Hurts or somebody else scores a running touchdown. And we're getting like halfway through the second quarter, and you're now relying on Brock Purdy to start slinging from behind. I just don't see it happening. So you come back in the second quarter, the Niners more than likely get the ball because they'll defer if they win. And then you're relying again on Purdy to try and catch you back up. I just don't see it happening. I see the Eagles running away with it.
The 49ers are going to be one of those teams. If they get down by 2 scores, they probably lose.
They're toast.
Right.
Yeah.
But they just can't let that happen. And there's a lot of teams like that. And
They can't. They can't. But I just see Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown and all these other fools just scoring points. What's the average Eagles game? I mean, I don't even
monster points.
It's also going to be in the mid-50s, which is San Francisco weather.
All right, so for me, Chiefs, Bengals. I'm the only one. I'll go Chiefs. I think it's pretty close, though. I'm going to go 35-28. A lot of points, but I think if either team wins, it's about the same score. I think it's like 30. I think it's high 20s, low 30s. Both teams, one team by a touchdown. But I'm gonna give it to Mahomes there. So
let's see. Okay, so does anyone want to take any guesses? So average Niners points. What do you think it is?
Average Niners points.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 17.
25.8.
Okay, that's more than I would have said. Okay,
What do you think the Eagles is?
like 35.
28.4.
Okay.
Random, right? I thought
Yeah.
it'd be way different.
Yeah, I thought it'd been extremely higher.
Maybe they just like only trounced a couple people, and then the rest was pretty like normal. But
What was the Eagles' strength of schedule this year? That's like probably the more relevant question.
Let's take a look.
First.
Yeah.
Their opponents won 56% of the games. Miami was second.
I mean, you want to hear something crazy? On Christmas Eve, the Cowboys beat the Eagles 40-34. I mean, for God's sakes, what is going on here?
I'm pretty sure that's right. Am I looking at the right thing? It says
Well,
NFL strength of schedule. Eagles number 1.
The worst
I don't
or
know.
best?
Strength, it just said.
The best. They had the hardest one. Oh, Giants were first. I see this one says opponents were 161, 123, and 4 for the Eagles, and then the Giants are 157, 129, and 2. That's what I'm looking at.
I think also you have to look and see.
They had the second easiest schedule in all of football compared
Who,
to
the Eagles?
Giants. The Eagles. Exactly. That's what I thought.
No, they had the second hard.
No, they didn't. Stop. I'm staring at it. They had the Giants had the easiest schedule. Eagles were second. Colts were third. Bears were fourth, and Lions were fifth. Because the Lions played the Eagles, and the Eagles suck.
No, that was based on projected win totals. They have the easiest strength. After the season was over, they were wrong. That was before the season.
Yeah,
Based
Eagles
on
were
projected
garbage.
win, the Giants have the easiest strength of schedule. That they are second. Now, if you go to the actual strength of schedule, updated January 9th, 2023, the highest opponent win percentage in the league, the Eagles, number 1.
Highest
looking at it
win
right now.
percentage.
Their opponent's highest win percentage, the Eagles, number 1.
Yeah, I like my list better.
Yeah, before it's all said and done, it's easier, right? But that's not the case because like Atlanta was at the bottom because they played people in their own division who were terrible, so they were last. New Orleans, then Texas, then the Colts, all at the bottom. Top, Miami or Philadelphia, Miami, New York Giants.
Oh, here it is. Here it is. Straight versus the strength of schedule versus the actual and. Yeah, there's a couple variations of this. So they played a bunch of team with a bunch of fake winning records. That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, how did the Chiefs, Rams, Raiders,
I'm not on the Eagles
Steelers?
bandwagon.
There you go with a bunch of cool ads, but Philadelphia won.
Opponent win percentage. Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
I still think they played garbage teams.
Not as bad as the Niners.
Yeah, the Niners.
The Niners played like the
15th on that
Rams
list.
twice, Seattle twice. Whoop-de-doo. Like, sorry to say, but Herbert and his Chargers twice. Like, NFC is super easy. The NFC was in shambles.
That's why, like Tampa Bay coming in, and everyone was like, "Oh, Brady's back at the playoffs." I was like, "Dude, they didn't play anyone with an over 500 record. Like, what does it matter? Like, and they're only 500.
Doesn't count.
Like, that's not gonna look good."
See, I got another one that says, the power rankings, the power ranking of the Eagles schedule says they were 29th.
Yeah, that's before the year.
No, I'm different calculation. None of this is all garbage.
Well, you were the one that asked.
That's hella funny.
But it says Miami still had the second heart. See, this is ridiculous. It all depends on the metric that you're using to measure this.
Yeah, 100%.
Right.
And I'm looking at I'm looking at power rankings here, and according to the final power rankings in the NFL this year, Miami had the second hardest schedule in the league, and it says Philadelphia had the 29th.
I don't really trust the power rankings because the power rankings are written by one guy who then rewrites it every week and then writes
But
it according
it all
to
depends
who's
on
left.
how you look at it. What they're, and I say I'm just gonna look at it and go game by game and go like good, suck, good, suck, good, suck, and there's more,
Right.
more suck than good than
Yeah.
they have a shitty schedule.
Yeah.
Do it the
It's
old
true.
fashioned way.
We'll see what happens. I say
They
Eagles.
Well, they
Eagles,
played the Giants
Cincy.
twice, the Redskins twice, and who else is in that division? Dallas twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's
Minute-
6-year games right there.
There's
I
a
don't
big
know.
se-
Jason says Minnesota, Giants, Cardinals, Texans, Bears, Lions. I mean, that's a shitty division.
Yeah, that's the shitty. Yeah, they didn't play that great of a schedule.
Well, I mean, the Niners isn't.
Well,
much better, though.
Minnesota's going to bump them up, and the Lions are going to bump them up too because they had a winning record.
Giants will
also-
bump them up.
But they also played the Lions when the Lions blew.
You just said the Lions would bump them up.
Yeah, but the Lions didn't win until the second half of the season. They won.
Yeah,
all
that's
those
true.
games.
That's true.
Look at when they played every team. And didn't the Bears beat them last game of the season, or something like that?
I don't know.
Didn't somebody shitty beat
The
them?
Saints beat them.
Minnesota barely beat anyone.
Minnesota
Yeah,
beat
that's true,
everybody
Jason.
by a touchdown or a field goal on the last drive every game.
Yeah.
I hate Minnesota so bad. And
I
Kirk
just-
Cousins. What a joke.
I
Well,
never thought Minnesota was very good all year.
No, they
No,
just-
me neither.
No.
That's because they barely squeaked out wins.
I mean, look at they played. I mean, they came back versus Indy, but I mean, a high school team could have beaten Indy that day.
You know, you can get Tyler Boyd hoodwinked for $2.
Can you?
Yeah,
Nice.
no joke.
Should we?
Yeah, I would. I think Tyler Boyd's
Mac Jones is back up to $7. Good job, guys.
All right, let's see what
I
else
grabbed
I was
one.
looking at. Tyler Boyd's locked in, so this is another one. I mean, I don't think Tyler Boyd's all that great, but he is like an option that Burrow does like to hit if his main two guys are like covered so hard. So it's only $48. It's only pumped 11%, so it's usually like 30, or I'm sorry, it's usually like 42. But yeah, his common, he only has one common, and it's $2. But I mean, no one's really collecting commons right now. That's another thing that's kind of interesting about going into the off season, right? Is like there's no reason to collect anything. So we're basing everything on spec. I'm not too sure where I want to go from here once the Super Bowl's over. I don't even know where I want to go from here now because you don't want to buy anyone who's left, right? 'Cause
Buy all the Baker Mayfields.
they're all inflated. All the Baker Mayfields.
All of them.
All the
Okay.
Kenny Pickett's.
I've definitely transitioned into focusing more on people that are out of the playoffs, going for those stat leaders.
Mhm.
You know, another one that I really haven't dabbled too much in, but is next on my list is the guys that broke records this year.
Mhm.
Definitely some history there. And then looking at guys that I think will potentially be cut or traded that could see a potential boost from landing in a new situation or have people in front of them that could be cut and traded, leading to
Yeah.
them getting a little boost.
You're going deep.
There's
Yeah,
just
grab-
I
grab-
know,
grab-
but there's
That's
just
fantasy
grab-
life for me.
grab-
So
I
That's
grabbed your
how-
guy thing.
uh,
Cooper Cup to be with $83.
all right. That was at like $50 the other day.
yeah, I got one for 70, I think, the other day.
I'm
Locked
thinking
in,
about.
right? Yeah,
I
locked
think
in.
I'm
I had
about.
to even out from the one for 175 I bought.
On the 9th, 55, 63, 64, 64, 58. Yeah.
Grab those $2 Cam Akers too when they pop up.
Who's that? I'm
Cam
just kidding.
Akers debut.
I know. I'm just kidding.
Relevant
No,
again?
no,
What
what?
game
No
did
way,
you-
dude. Noah Gray all day. $2. I have like 4 of them, but for $2, I'll grab 4 more. I like
see.
Noah Gray. I
I
don't
see
care
it.
just because it's Mahomes. I mean, how do you not? The only one that I am like I really hope that anyone who has any stock in anything Tampa Bay is like selling hardcore, because Brady is not going back there, and Mike Evans is like just okay without Brady.
He's also old.
He's also old, and
What do you
Chris
have?
Godwin's hurt.
Nine straight 1,000-yard seasons, and that's going to end next year.
Also, no, it's a
No,
series too.
that's a dude that I think is a good candidate to get traded. I
No,
think
they're not going to trade him. Is
Who?
his contract up?
it's up after this year, I believe. And
Oh, well, then that's a different
why
story.
wouldn't they?
I mean, that
Who-
would be a
who are you
complete
talking
rebuild
about?
then, right? Chris
Evans.
Evans.
Mike Evans.
Mike Evans,
Oh,
sorry. Chris
gotcha.
Godwin, sorry.
Yeah.
America.
They're
Yeah.
entering a complete rebuild without Brady. Like
Yeah. For sure.
So we're in a weird time.
Fournette's old.
This question right here, who can land in Tampa Bay at quarterback? We're in a weird time. There are a million candidates of quarterbacks that could go places right now, which is
Carr.
never
Hey,
happens.
100% would
Carr.
never get Rodgers.
You have
Never.
Carr. You have. I mean, I hate to say it, but there's people that haven't shown a lot, like Trey Lance, that's going somewhere else.
Mama.
They've got a QB waiting in the wings. That I
Don't
think
they have
that's-
Trask?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Kyle
Trask.
Trask.
Yeah, he's good.
I think
Yeah,
he
he
gets a shot for sure.
Yeah, Kyle Trask was great
Had a
at
couple
Florida.
of years to chill under Brady, learn the game a bit deeper. Hopefully,
Mhm.
I think the
That's
Bucks
the narrative
become
I'm gonna run in my
completely
head, at
irrelevant.
least. Oh, I think so too, and that's why they're going to do that rebuild.
Yeah.
like
Trade away. Yeah, I can see what you're saying. Trade away Evans. Have Chris
Stacks and-
Godwin just sit there because he's not very good anyways.
what?
Chris Godwin's not
awesome.
good. No, he's not good.
He'll be good this year. I guarantee it.
If he comes back, you think, from the injury, I mean, if he's ever he looked good in that game.
Got to remember he was already coming back from an injury, and players.
Well,
When
he's
guys
injury
come
prone.
back, if they like, no, they're not. It's not injury prone. It's recovering from the injury. When you have tear your ACL, it's not just the ACL that's damaged. You got to heal the hamstring, get that hamstring used to working out.
Yeah,
That you'll always see guys have those injuries when they come back from those major injuries. They're going to have those soft tissue injuries
right.
in their year back, and then you look at them the following year when their value is even way lower because everyone's given up on them.
Mhm.
That's when it's time to swoop in.
I could see that. That makes sense.
Just like
Logic
Saquon
right
this
there.
year.
Yeah,
Saquon,
Saquon this year.
Dalvin Cook the year before.
Yeah, do you know they're talking about Saquon still not getting a deal because they apparently just love Daniel Jones so much.
They're smart not to give him a deal.
No, they're not. I mean, it makes sense. Yeah. So they're talking.
They're looking at.
Saquon
They should
trades.
be looking at Zeke, right? And that's the stand.
Yeah.
Like Dallas living with that contract. How much does that handicap them?
Right. I don't know. Josh Phillips, I agree with you. Rodgers would never follow Brady. He'd like
Right.
laugh at
He
that
wants to
whole-
have his own thing.
Yeah. I would hate Rodgers on the Jets. Didn't like I don't know. Where do you think you would want to go that has a good team that's in a shitty division? Because literally the only thing he said it himself, the only thing he cares about is winning a championship now. At this stage in his career, the only thing he
Dude,
wants to
I
do.
think with Garrett Wilson and a healthy Brees Hall and Sauce and that whole D, I think the Jets would be nasty with Aaron Rodgers. I do.
Yeah. No, it'd be
Well,
cool.
he's a guy that's not going to worry about the pressure of performing in that city, right?
Or
You're not
the
bringing in
cold.
some.
He would be. I mean, he has weapons. There are weapons all over that team, and they're young. Like, I think they would look really good.
It'd be cool to have like an actual good quarterback in New York though, because I can't really think of anyone. I'm sorry, but Carr is not the answer. I don't give a shit. Like,
no,
I'd rather play with Flacco. But there are some other Trey Lance. You could give Trey Lance to the Jets and have
See,
like a complete running game.
I
Like,
actually think Trey Lance would also be really good in New York. I think
Yeah.
that would
Yeah.
fit his scheme.
I'd rather
super
see
well.
Carr there.
yeah. What? I
Yeah.
hate Derek Carr. I think he sucks.
I'm not a Derek Carr fan, but I don't think Carr was the problem with the Raiders. I hate
I don't.
Josh McDaniels. And
I actually have to agree with Blaze here too. I don't think Carr was the problem. His stats were absurd most years. He was
nothing like what changed in that program. It wasn't all the players.
Mhm.
It was the coach.
Mhm.
Gruden had hit that team performing great.
Mhm.
It was 100%.
Why did Gruden leave? Did he just
emails
say?
from John Snyder?
Oh,
They
really?
fired him.
yeah, he
And
got
then
some
Snyder
trouble.
and then John Snyder had emails dropped on him,
Oh, really? That's too bad.
Mhm.
or whatever the Washington owner is. I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
Snyder.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
a couple other things I've been noticing just browsing around. Going into next year, I don't see how in the world this rare Trevor Lawrence stays at $41. That's absurd to me. The draw it up one.
Yeah, it's just because.
Been really careful with those series twos, waiting
Yeah,
for
series
them to
two,
hit
I just
full
don't like it.
circulation.
But his
not
only
opposed to
other
getting it.
rare is his debut, and that is super unreachable by most
I'm
players.
super not opposed to getting them. It's just I'm waiting. Like Derrick Henry, rare. That's one that I want, but it's at like 54%. I'm not gonna.
Oh
any
yeah,
money
that's
on-
true. That's true. Also, the Tennessee Titans crafted moment that only has 227 mint. The number one is on sale right now for $450. That seems really low.
It's too
Someone's
much
buying
for
that right now.
Titans. It's too much for the Titans.
Someone's got to
Sorry.
get that, right?
I'm not a huge fan of the Titans
Yeah,
moments. and,
I hate the Titans.
like I do have one. I have their
Good
wild
movie, though.
card one, but
Yeah, it's like the $40 one or whatever. $30,
Yeah.
$40 ones.
Are the 2023 Jets the 2022 Jaguars? Yes. In my opinion, the Jets are going to have a nutty year next year. And they'll
If
have
they
a
get
new
a
quarterback. They will have a new quarterback. I mean, they will find a way to get one, whether it be
right. But new does not always equal good.
True.
true.
I mean, I'm sorry.
right,
If they
you're
get
right.
Derek Carr, they're screwed.
No, I'm not saying Derek
They
Carr.
become better with Derek Carr than Zach Wilson.
Derek
Come on.
Carr is better than any quarterback that they have started in the last decade.
Yes, facts. He may not be. He's not
the-
Rodgers, but he's
the-
better than. He's better than Zach Wilson.
The Jets will screw it up and end up with Jacoby Brissett as their starting quarterback.
That would
No.
be better too.
That would,
That would be
would.
better. I would roll with Brissett for sure.
What the hell?
Yeah, I would definitely roll
But
with Brissett.
that's somebody. That's
They're
somebody.
going to end up with Marcus Mariota, and they're going to hate it. That's what's
Daniel
gonna happen.
Jones goes from one New York team to the other.
Marcus Mariota's got to play somewhere next year. We know it. Like,
After
God.
what happened, so like after what happened in that Dallas and Giants game, I would probably say that Daniel Jones is a backup in 2 years because his contract they just franchise tagged him, right? So he can't. They're not paying him. So after this next year, he's going to be on the Giants next year, and then he'll be a free agent, and no one will sign him. He'll get what's it called?
a new job.
No, he'll just be a backup. I just think he'll be a backup. I don't see Daniel Jones being a quarterback in the NFL in 2 years. Next year, obviously, because they franchise tag him, like I said, but
I mean, I think. I don't know.
he looked silly.
Micah Parsons,
Like-
$2.
Daniel Jones looked silly against the Cowboys or against the Eagles. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
didn't
Michael
look very
Parsons. So, okay, that's a great. I love that you said that. Micah Parsons, $2. You know that the only thing that shows me is that all Series 2 is garbage.
good. Yeah.
Because Micah Parsons is the best defensive player that you could buy, probably, except for what Sauce, and it's $2. Like,
I mean, Micah Parsons is the best. I'll hot take this one. Micah Parsons is the best defensive player in the league, and maybe by the end of his career, ever.
Yeah.
Like, no shit. Like,
Yeah,
he
yeah,
is
yeah.
that good. His 2 years, and after his first year, everyone was like, "Oh, he's this good." Blah blah blah. He just did it again this year.
yeah,
It's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
like it fell off. He
Mhm.
is absurd, and he will continue to be that good, and it only get better with time. Like, they're not going to figure out how to keep him from hitting your quarterback in the face.
yeah,
It's not
he's,
going to stop.
he's an animal, dude. He's crazy.
Like,
But to my point, it just shows that all Series 2 is garbage. Like,
I mean, there's
the
no
best
other
player-
there's no other reasoning.
the
Yeah.
best player on defense is $2. Like, I mean, I get it that it's a common, but
All commons are garbage.
yeah.
I don't care
We'll
for them.
see.
Give me rares all day. Half my collection is rares.
I mean, in the if you're going for gamification, you're right. Like, there's no real reason to collect commons. Like,
I just, yeah.
You know, pretty
There's
soon,
no collectability to 10,000.
all commons are going to be like $4 anyways. Like CD Lamb's gone down now that they're out to 14. I was trying to think. There's another one. Like Burrow, for instance, is up to 26 again, but Burrow's like one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and his debut moment is only $26. So I mean, that's rough. Lamar Jackson, I mean, I'm not a really big fan of Lamar Jackson per se, but his common is 14 and $13. Like Josh Allen's tanked because deservedly so, but
Jalen Hurts is still 21 for his debut.
See,
yeah,
but I look at that Burrow floor. You just got me peeking at it now.
yeah.
And like, there's not a lot really standing between it and 40. Like, you
Really?
got 1, 2, 5. Sorry, I'm just counting here.
Yeah, no worries.
11, 14, 15, 17, 19. You got about 24 moments, and it's at $40, and it's only a $7 wall at 40 or 7
Nice.
moment. So
Nice.
it's not like crazy.
It's not. I mean, it kind of goes back to that Mac Jones one, though, right? I mean, Mac Jones, the average goddamn sale for Mac Jones is 67.88, and it's a triple badge. And the top sale is $7,200, and right now it's at $7. It's at $7 right now. Like,
now this all depends
Right,
on how
but-
long burning goes on, and if it's going to be, and how many S1s. get
burning is going to
burned.
go on forever.
But how many S1s are going to get burned? Are people going to burn the S2s and S3s and S4s, or is it going to be a requirement to burn S1s and really get that dwindle down that min count?
What would be funny is like, could they actually burn it out of existence, like by making? So we all know how collectors, quote unquote, react to playbook, right? So if AD says, "Oh, I'm gonna give you this new moment," let's say Brock Purdy for having this moment or whatever, this stupid coin or whatever the hell it was, people just do it because I don't know, whatever, they just do it. So if they say, "Oh, well, you have to start burning Series 1," are people just gonna like nonchalantly keep burning Series 1 and not think like, "Oh, well, every time I burn it, it's making it more scarce"? I really like. Do people notice that? Do people not notice that?
Most people, no, probably not.
Most people probably don't realize that by burning it, you're
Or they
making it
do,
more
but they
scarce.
don't care.
But they
because
don't care.
They're going to
right?
burn and not buy a new one, right? So
Right.
they don't care what it does to the other ones. Eventually, you'll
Right.
see some moments. I think eventually you'll see some moments that say 10,000 count moments, say 9,000 burned above them.
Yeah,
And people will be
that's-
like,
that's
wait,
what
there's
I'm
only
wondering.
1,000 of them left.
Yeah,
But-
eventually,
but,
right?
But now, can they put a badge on it or something like now? It's a rare.
I don't think
wouldn't
so.
want that.
I don't think
they.
they can.
Why
What-
not?
What's even crazier is about that Mac Jones moment, just looking like Phoenix or Blaze did a second ago. There's a pretty good wall between 7 and 10. I would say it's 20 moments or so.
Mhm.
But between 10 and 20 is only 15, and then 5 more, and you're at 30
Mhm.
on that Mac Jones moment. So there's like 25 moments between $7 and $30, and then it keeps skyrocketing pretty quick. I mean, it's pretty
So
crazy.
what
Like,
you're saying is some onboarding new
if
people
they got,
here to blow
yeah,
that thing up.
if 25 people went out right now and bought the top 25 Mac Jones moments, it would be a $30 floor.
What's Mac Jones's
Right.
number?
It doesn't take much.
No, Mac Jones's number's
It's
11, I
his phone
think.
number?
Or is he 10? He's 10.
You want to
Yeah.
call him up and have
Is
him
he
buy his
10?
own moments?
Yeah.
I was gonna say because if he's number 11, it's only $750. Damn.
No, I think he's number 10.
Yeah, I think you're right. No, you're totally right. Okay. Number 1 and his jersey number are not for sale. I don't
At
know.
what price point does the price curve look like a rare for what point does it look like a rare? I think I think it would start. That's what's crazy to me, right? Is if you burn, that's a great question. Because if you burn 9,000 of these Mac Jones commons, right? And it only had 1,000 left and it's a triple badge, I think it would be 5 times as expensive as his rares with the same mint count. Because it's the badges then would matter. Where right now the badges aren't mattering because it's not a rare. And they're like, oh, whatever. But that also is going to be on all day.
It will never be qualified as a rare. It'll always be.
Well, exactly. That's what I was about to say. It's on all day as well then to be like, okay, you need debuts again, whether they're rare or not. Because until that happens, it doesn't matter what the mint count of this common is. It has to be a rare to be used in any challenge.
You just have to think.
In 10 years in playbook, when all of a sudden he throws for 400 yards, hits something, and it becomes that debut becomes the bottleneck. There we go.
Well, it just makes you think too, though, right? Like you got
now has thousands and thousands of dollars. Thank you. You're welcome.
You got the Super Bowl in 2 weeks, and then it's like, okay, off season for however long. You have to think that they're like, oh well, what can we change for playbook? They have to be thinking about that in the off season, right? Like I miss the old playbook so bad, and I never thought I would say that. The old playbook was so much fun.
So much fun.
We all had so much fun talking to each other and selling things and buying things,
being pissed,
being mad, like
so
you
fun.
lose something
all around yelling.
So
it was
so
fun
much
though.
I'll even
So
reverse
much
it.
fun.
I'll even reverse it and say that I missed the playbook, the original playbook. Now,
Yeah, yeah.
Everyone
It's
does.
hard. I mean, it's
So
you know what?
JK's
Because now that I'm playing, now it's like I changed my entire
collecting
outlook on everything.
scheme.
Yeah.
So
I changed
JK's this I think is incorrect for one reason, right? So if 9,000 moments of Rager's burned, it'd still just be $2. I don't think that's the case because the reason being is because of the set it's in. So yeah, the moment itself is worthy of being $2, sure. But if only 1,000 base sets could be completed at that time, then every one of them that went on the market, someone would grab for whatever price because they know that only 1,000 people can hold the base set, and that people wouldn't sell it for 2 because in reality they would say, "I'm selling the missing piece to a base set, not I'm selling a Jalen Reagor."
Right.
So that would be why it would be expensive.
It's a bottleneck.
They would bottleneck the base set.
Yeah.
So and I think that's the way to do it. I think if you burn enough of the moments in a set, so like say you took rares, for instance, and had like the locked in set. Trayvon Diggs is a good one that I always think in. He's $40. If someone just started burning those until there was 200 of them, then every one of them would be worth so much more because you would have to have it to be one of the 200 people in locked in.
Yeah.
And that's what would drive it for sure. Also, I'm just randomly looking through moments. This Garrett Wilson crafted rare is a disgusting moment. That his cut on that play is so pretty. I want it. He is good, dude. He is so good. I think he's
$41 isn't bad.
No, it's not. It's 40 low ask right now.
I got there for 38.
Did you?
So good. What's the
I'd
Jameson
buy it.
Williams down to? Is it plummeted
It's
or
still
is
at
it
100. No, it's
is
still
it-
at 100.
110 last
It's
time I
not
tried.
ever going to fall below 100.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, I
Or
think
it does every once in a while, but it doesn't.
It'll
it
be
doesn't
for like
stick.
till 90. Yeah. Then it gets
Yeah.
swooped
You know, it's
up.
back up to 110. Yeah. What's
I like
crazy
how
is-
so that
you
you
can
were talking
tell
about that
people like
Garrett
him.
Wilson. You were talking about that Garrett Wilson play.
yeah.
So he does that cutback and he runs past a Bears player that's like on the ground, like
Yeah.
writhing and playing. Did you see that?
Yeah. So my
That's
favorite.
hilarious.
I guess this is what I was like hoping would happen with the Williams, and I'm pretty. There's none of them. Nobody lists that moment. They love that moment.
hmm
There's what 10 of them
I
total.
don't know.
I'm sorry, but
I'm just
can't,
glad I have 2.
can't Mike White be the Jets quarterback?
No, what? Why?
But I'm just saying, like, but why? Why did we get off of that? Like,
Bill Belichick would be better.
oh my
Oh,
god,
God.
Anybody would be better there.
I don't think so. I think that if you develop,
Wait, does Tom Brady go to New York?
it could be. It's one of the rumors, but about
Miami-
it. He's
Miami's
going to
the-
Miami. He's going to Miami for
Yeah.
sure. Which, by the way, brings a whole other conversation about how whatever that coach, what's his name,
Mike McDaniel.
Mike McDaniels, like everything that he said about Tua is like bullshit, probably.
Doesn't also
which
bring
I
into
don't
the
care.
conversation that Gronk's party company is in Miami, and he can just show up every once in a while and play.
Yeah. It's I don't know. I think he's going to Miami. I think that he's too old to be playing, and I think that he's a statue. He's going to turn into Ben.
Yeah, I mean, with the talent at Miami, though, could he just be good again randomly?
I mean, it's possible.
Because I mean,
It
I
is totally
was
possible.
I was all on the Tua hype train, but it's the same as Brock Purdy for me now. Like with Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill, aren't you just pretty good?
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, I think we're about done here. It's late, and we gotta do stuff. So to everybody here, thanks for hanging. We'll be back Sunday,
Appreciate you.
12:30 p.m. Eastern time. We'll talk about some football. When are the games?
Later.
Like that 3 o'clock and 7 o'clock spot or something like that?
Yeah, something.
Okay. Well, we'll pregame it a little bit.
Fun
talk
fact,
about what's
Bengals
coming up,
Chiefs regular season game ended 27-24 Bengals.
which was the
Yeah.
exact same score as they're meeting in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
pretty low. I was expecting way more. I don't know.
Yeah,
Chiefs defense sucks.
they're bad, dude.
Yeah,
They're
they're bad. And
Chris-
the Bengals
Chris-
defense
Chris Jones
is showing
is-
up.
Chris Jones is sick. Actually, I'll give the Chiefs defensive line is really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
And Nick Bolton is really good in the linebacker core. Their secondary is trash.
Yeah, horrible. That's what I'm
that's
saying.
just
I
how it
think
is.
Burrow just shreds them. But if Chris is like saying this stat right here, I mean, obviously they play each other hard. Then
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
always
know.
I mean, and that comes down to Mahomes too. I've never seen Mahomes, and I can't. I mean, I'm sure they have. Like, don't quote me on this because I'm sure you can look through even this year's schedule and find one. He
Mhm.
doesn't just get blown out.
No,
It doesn't happen.
No.
He makes it a game, and at least he's doing some crazy nonsense where you're like up to the 2-minute mark in every game. You're like, he could win.
yeah.
And-
No, you're right.
Like
It's never a blowout.
No, he doesn't just get blown out of games for sure.
It would be awesome to see Joe Burrow do that, though. It would be pretty
I
cool.
mean, it's possible.
480 and 6 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Holy Jesus,
Jeez, that'd be crazy. I don't know.
Brock Purdy stats right there. All right, anyway.
Whew.
Madden
All right.
stat.
Yeah, right. All right, guys. We'll catch you next time. Thanks for hanging out.
I like this Garrett Wilson.
Bye.
Bye.
By 10.